afternoon.
Look, Gerrie Nel questioning the credibility of a seasoned ballistic expert, Wollie Wolmarans. What came out of that testimony, Patricia?
Yes, indeed, very interesting today. The state starting its cross-examination of the defence's ballistic expert, Wollie Wolmarans' testimony by a brief laser beam demonstration. This to confirm the assertions made by the state ballistic expert, Captain Chris Mangena, that the shots fired through a bullet hole B must have ricocheted to the top wall of the toilet cubicle, ultimately hitting Reeva Steenkamp in her back. Now, we also saw Wolmarans getting much agitated and perhaps rattled as a state prosecutor advocate Gerrie Nel continued to hammer him about his version and his theory about what happened and the sequence of how the Paralympian must have shot through that bathroom door and ultimately killing Reeva Steenkamp on the fateful morning of Valentine's Day last year. Now, of course, the laser beam demonstration was made after Wolmarans basically completely disputed Captain Mangena's version of events, telling the court that it's almost impossible to accurately determine the exact sequence of how the shots were fired on Valentine's Day last year, and exactly what position Reeva Steenkamp must have taken throughout the moments when the Paralympian was shooting her through the bathroom door. But perhaps most important two aspects that came out was Advocate Gerrie Nel accusing Wolmarans of perhaps having tailored evidence in his report that is currently before the court, telling the court that Wolmarans is acting biased and that he might not be giving a clear indication. This after Gerrie Nel asked Wolmarans to produce the notes that he made compiling his report by. Wolmarans was unable to give Gerrie Nel copies of those notes, and that prompted the state prosecutor to accuse him of course having perhaps tailored evidence and being biased in favor of the Paralympian. The second important aspect is that just like the defense's previous expert witness, geologist Roger Dixon, we saw Wolmarans today basically contradicting the testimony of Oscar Pistorius about the magazine rack that was found in his bathroom. He told the court that he never saw the magazine rack near Reeva Steenkamp's body when he discovered her after shooting her in his bathroom. But of course, we heard the second expert from the defense's side being Wolmarans today, telling the court that his evidence and his investigations also show that the magazine rack must have been in the position that Captain Chris Mangena testified, meaning that Reeva Steenkamp, just like Captain Chris Mangena testified earlier, must have collapsed onto the magazine rack that was next to the toilet cubicle. But of course, this trial is not over. It will continue next week. It is perhaps the last week of this trial, as the defense has already indicated that it might just wrap up its case by early next week, of course, giving the defense and both the state the opportunity to wrap up with its closing arguments next week.
The SABC's Patricia Visagie, thank you for your time on the PM News.